Years ago, I worked with a guy who would take everyone's name and elongate it in some way.
Okay.
And he turned Larry into LaRue, and then somebody said Lash Laroo.
Hi, welcome again to Mills County Roots. This is the first week of the Mills County Roots show, and I am just having the best time interviewing these very authentic, artistic, wonderful people here in Mills County. I'm concentrating on Malvern this first week because that's where I live. I've been here for 10 years, and I'm here today with Larry Dunn at Breezy Acres, guitar repair and inlay work.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Welcome, Larry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Larry is a longtime musician in the area, also known as Lash Laroo. So how did you end up with the nickname Lash Laroo?
Years ago, I worked with a guy who would take everyone's name and elongate it in some way.
Okay.
And he turned Larry into LaRue, and then somebody said Lash Laroo. And the singer in the band I was in at the time got a hold of that and ran with it, and it just,
Yeah.
that's what most people call me now.
That's funny. Lash Laroo, as you know, is an old Western icon.
Yeah.
Old Western
King
movies.
of the bullwhip.
Okay, so my aunt, believe it or not, her middle name is LaRue.
Okay.
Because my grandparents were fans of Lash Laroo.
Really?
Yeah, no kidding.
Nice.
No kidding. Yeah, so that's really interesting. So Larry, tell me about, let's first talk about the band you're in, okay? So
Okay.
you're a longtime musician, and
Yeah.
you've been, what are some of the bands that you played in before this?
Well, before this, and I still do play in a band called the Mercurys.
Oh, okay.
We've been together 31 years now.
Oh.
Which is pretty amazing for any band.
That's really amazing.
Yeah.
Have you had a lot of turnover in musicians over the years?
We went through a couple of drummers, but for
Okay.
the most part, the core band has been the same.
Okay. Okay. Very nice. All right. All right. And what else?
And then now I play in a band called the $2 Pistols.
Okay.
Which is the band. Everyone in the band is an inductee of the Iowa Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Awesome.
Which is kind of how we met, and our singer Becky was inducted the same year that the Mercurys were inducted, and met her at the induction. And
Very nice.
and then Dan Sullivan, who's a Southwest Iowa staple.
Yeah, I've played with Dan.
Yeah.
He's fabulous.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then a young guy, I think he's 20 now, a young man named Drew Morlock, and he
Okay.
won the youth talent competition at the Iowa Rock and Roll Hall of Fame
Wow.
a couple years ago
Okay.
as well. So
Okay, nice.
yeah, lots of experience.
Yeah.
Which is a nice way, other than Drew, of saying that we're all old.
So, well, that's really cool. You found like-minded musicians. You got a synergy. You
Yeah.
have a particular style. Kind of developing a brand as well. I have been kind of watching you on Facebook. I haven't had the opportunity to get out and see you all live yet, but y'all have to get your schedule so I can get out and see
One
you
of these
live.
days, yeah.
Yeah,
We've
so-
we've played a few times up here at the Art Church up the street, so you'll probably get another chance at that this spring.
Nice. Okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. So, are you guys gigging a lot?
Yeah, typically 3-4 times a month, which is I guess wouldn't be considered a lot, but it's enough.
Oh, that's busy when you have a business.
Yeah.
You have a business and you're gigging that many times, that could be busy every weekend
Right.
and all week long. So,
Right.
speaking of your business, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the inception of it, where you started, how you started, and how you decided to just dive all the way in.
Well, I started repairing instruments because when I was a young man, I was hard on my instruments and I couldn't afford to have someone else repair them.
Okay.
I sort of found early on that I enjoy a guitar, especially as not only as a musical instrument but as a mechanical thing.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot more to a guitar than most people know, and how things have to work together well, and they're also, to me, works of art.
Yes.
So it's something I would repair my own stuff out of necessity, and then I would read more books and dove into it more and more.
Okay, okay, I see.
And
Yeah, so there is a lot to it, you know. There's like so much, the depth of the nut and the bridge saddle and the distance between the frets and the height of the frets
and
and
everything has to work together.
yeah, it is actually, and you can probably expand on this, but it is actually mathematical.
It is,
Yeah,
yes, yeah,
yeah.
definitely is mathematical, which I do in spite of. Not much of a math guy,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's you know, a lot of people don't know you can just go buy a guitar off the wall at your local music store, and it's not really ready to go.
Right.
And so there's a lot of adjustments to be made for different playing styles with the player's preferences of string gauge, et cetera, et
Sure.
cetera. There's a lot of things that go into it.
Yeah, yeah. It's in the science of sound
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
those and the works of art that
Yeah,
you work on a lot. I've been watching your Facebook page. You work on a lot of vintage and literally antique instruments.
I do. I do.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things to do is antique restorations.
Yeah.
I just not so long ago finished up a fiddle from the 1800s. A guy stopped in with this fiddle, and it was his great grandfather's. And this guy didn't play at all, but wanted to get it in good working order,
Yeah.
just you know, for the sentimental value.
Wow. Wouldn't you like to know the history? I'm sure you imagine the history when you're working on that instrument.
I talk about that a lot in my Facebook videos. You know, not to get super deep, but you know, the wood, this instrument was. I sort of have to have something in my
Yeah,
hands when I
do
talk,
that.
if that's
Do
okay.
that. Oh yeah, that's
I do better.
Yeah,
but
that's
you know,
fabulous.
the wood that these are made out of was at one point a living thing.
Uh-huh.
And I sort of feel like it retains, you know, a bit of a spirit. And then,
Uh-huh.
you know, when I work on these instruments that are that old, I think of all the different people who've played them, all the different songs that have been played on it, all of the people that have been entertained by, you know, I like to think of maybe there was a couple on their first date at a show where this instrument was being played, and now
Oh,
they've
wow,
been
yeah.
married 60 years or whatever. But they're just, you know, one instrument can touch so many lives.
Yes.
And I love the history. There was one, a guy brought me a guitar, and it was on the inside, it was scratched on the back of the guitar. It was made by a guy named Bob Evans from Glenwood, and it said Bob Evans, Glenwood, Iowa, May 1934.
Uh-huh.
And so I did a little research and found some people that thought they might have known some of his family.
Okay.
So, long story short, they brought Bob's daughter in, and she's like 90,
Oh, wow.
and she wanted to come in and see this instrument that her father had made.
Oh.
And the whole family was here in the shop, and it still kind of gives me goosebumps to think about it. But the whole time that we were talking, she kept one hand on the guitar. It was like it was almost like she was
Connecting.
touching her dad, you know.
Yeah.
And she told me a story about his workshop, and her and her sister would go to the workshop, and as he was planing stuff, there were the curly plane shavings.
Oh.
And he would pick them up and he would pin them into the girl's hair so that they could
Oh,
pretend they
how
were Shirley Temple.
How sweet.
And so, you know, you think it's just a guitar, but there's all this other stuff that goes with it.
Yeah. It's never just a guitar.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
never just a guitar. Yeah. Yeah, they get in bar fights.
I think I've repaired a few that were used in bar fights, actually.
Used as a weapon.
Right.
The guitar saved my life. Yeah, that happens. You know, you talk about those curly cues from the little girl's dad. My grandpa was a luthier, and he made fiddles.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting at the base of his chair. He had a stool much like these that sat a little higher. It was like one of those telephone company stools with a little back on
Right,
it, and
right.
that's kind of how he sat. And I remember his bench was kind of at an angle that he worked on. Well, when he needed it at an angle, you know,
Sure.
for different things. But I remember sitting there with the wood shavings all around, you know,
Right.
and I know those curly cues when you mentioned them. So
Yeah.
so yeah, that's very cool. So yeah, and that's one thing that I was really drawn when I found your Facebook page. We've both been around a lot, and we've never really played music together.
Right.
But I knew you from your Facebook page, and I knew. I mean, I knew you from being in the area and playing with the Mercurys, and then I brought a guitar to you, and you fixed the
Right.
neck came off. You remember that
I do
that
remember
old
that.
guitar, and you fixed it. And 2 or 3 different people have tried to fix that guitar, and weren't able to fix it because of the way it was built.
Okay.
So you were able to fix it. It's doing fine. It's hanging on the wall in my living room, and it's doing fabulous.
I love
and
to hear that.
yeah, yeah. So, and a testament to your work right there.
Thank you. You bought some of my jewelry as
I
well. I think.
did. You know,
Yes.
that summer, I had I connected you with my mom on her Facebook
Right.
because she has much attachment to the whole scene, and I was telling her about you. And yes, so I bought something for my mom. It was that, I think it might have been mahogany. Was it a mahogany medallion with?
I think it was probably rosewood. I
Okay,
believe,
maybe
was
it was.
a butterfly?
Oh, it was. It was a rosewood with the butterfly inlay.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful because my mom loves butterflies. But anyway, then that summer somehow I found all these feathers. I kept finding all of these feathers everywhere I would turn. There would be a feather, and it went as far as I had a cardinal feather and a blue jay feather and a red tail hawk feather and they were right around my yard, you know. And I was telling my mom about finding all these feathers. I said it's just uncanny how many single feathers I've found in just the oddest places.
Right.
And the fact that so many of them were in such a short time. And she got a hold of you, and she had you do the mother of pearl feather earrings for
Oh,
me.
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So, and they're beautiful. Yeah, they're beautiful. And where
glad
can
you
people
like
see
those.
your work?
On Facebook, Breezy Acres Guitar Repair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see
Yeah.
I do a lot of videos of the instruments while they're in process and before and after videos, and I show all of my jewelry that I make on there as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, beautiful stuff. Absolutely beautiful inlay. And when I first found you, you were working on a box, and the box had a buffalo on it,
Oh, yeah.
and a moon or a sun, and maybe there
Oh.
was a coyote. Was
No,
that-
no
no
coyote.
coyote?
Yeah, buffalo. Well, it's
You have the box?
no, I don't have the box, but I
Oh.
have the original.
Okay.
If it's okay if I stand up. And,
Oh yeah, you bet. You bet. It's all. Oh, okay.
This was
All
the
right.
original, and then I recreated this in a box.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if we
So
can
it's yeah.
see that or
Well,
not.
I'm gonna actually walk it right up to the
Okay.
camera because I can't go back there and adjust the. But I'm gonna walk it right up to the camera so you can see it. That's the intricate inlay work, and this is one hard, heavy piece of wood. It
Yeah, it
almost
is.
feels petrified. So to
That's,
be able to do that kind of intricate work in wood that dense is pretty amazing.
Well, when I saw this is a piece of coolabah, which is related to eucalyptus from Australia.
Oh.
And when I saw this part right here, it reminded me of buffalo fur. And
Oh.
I've been wanting to do this like father and well, for me it's father and daughter buffalo.
Okay, okay,
So,
right, right.
and then I recreated that into a jewelry box as well.
Okay, that's what I saw was that was the first work of yours that I saw when you were doing it, and you didn't even have the storefront at that time,
I
did
didn't.
you?
No, I
Yeah.
was at that time I was just working out of a spare bedroom in my home.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's I really love having this shop in downtown Malvern now.
Yeah, this is nice. Malvern is like an artist magnet. There's so much artistic
So much going on here. It's
stuff
amazing.
here. Yeah. We have the Art Church, Art on Fifth, Anna,
Yeah.
you.
And they do the Malvern concert series in
Yeah.
the park down the street
Right.
here, and so yeah,
Right.
lots of arts and entertainment here is amazing.
I love Malvern for that reason. It's very local business progressive, but still nostalgic.
Yeah.
And it's also very art centric and supportive of the arts.
Yeah.
It's beautifully progressive town.
It really
I love
is.
living here,
Yeah.
which is the reason that I moved here. When I moved, I thought, where am I going to move? Because I was moving, and then I found a house here in Malvern, and I was like, well,
Here
this
we
is the
are.
place. I had done some things over here with different organizations and stuff musically, and it just seemed like the right fit.
Nice.
I've been here 10 years.
Really?
Yeah, been in Mills County 20. How long have you been in this area?
Moved out here from Omaha, let's see, 12 years ago.
Okay,
Yeah, I was born and raised in Omaha, and
that's right. Did you have a shop up in Omaha for a while?
I did, back in like 2000. I had a
Uh-huh.
shop in Omaha for a little while.
Okay,
And
okay,
I had a rougher time making a go of it
okay,
back then,
okay.
and
I
went and
thought
got a
you
real
did.
job.
Yeah. What was the name of your shop then?
LL Dunn Stringed Instrument Repair.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Yeah. So, what else have you done as far as career, job? What makes up Larry Dunn?
Well, as little as possible since I'm a musician.
Right.
Lots of different part-time gigs. I was a automotive tech for a while,
Okay.
and it was really not my forte. So that's
Okay.
a rough business.
Yeah.
I worked for a sound company, sound and lighting company
Okay.
for a while, because that was,
Yeah.
dovetailed into being a musician a little bit.
You
so.
don't turn wrenches and deal with that kind of heavy machinery when you're a musician.
It's a
It's
little
risk.
rough on the hands,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a little risky.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I like to keep all my fingers.
Yes, exactly, exactly. I could see where that would be anti-productive,
Right.
counterintuitive, as they say.
Yeah.
So tell me about how this came about that you got a storefront here on Main Street in Malvern.
Well, I had built a little workshop on the land where we lived north of town here. And right about that time, the owner of this building was looking to fill it up, and it's the same guy who owns the art church. And
Okay,
so
okay.
he called me up and said, "Hey, this might be a good fit since you're looking for a place."
Yeah.
And it just all kind of fell together.
Okay.
It was one of those things where it fell together so easily. I just kind of knew it was right.
Yeah.
And
Very nice.
and I've loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
A
great.
couple more months will be 1 year here in this space.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay. That went by fast,
Yeah,
didn't
it did.
Yeah,
It did.
yeah. So you get a lot of walk-ins, people walking by, they want to check out what's going on?
I get a few people from the community who are walking by and just stop in and go, "What the heck do you do here?"
Yeah, right.
And like that guy with the 1800s fiddle, he was just a guy that would drive by,
Uh-huh.
and he thought to bring that thing in here. So
Uh-huh.
otherwise, it's not really a walk-in business.
Mm-hmm.
People, if they need instruments fixed,
Yeah.
they come.
Yeah,
And most of my jewelry is sold through Facebook, so
Right.
that's not really a walk-in thing either.
yeah, yeah. Are you doing the jewelry work here as well?
Of course,
You're
yeah.
doing it all here?
Yeah.
Wow, that's, it's such intricate artistic work.
Yeah, it's
Exact work.
it's intricate enough that I've gotten to where I can't do anything without my readers
Oh,
now.
yeah, I understand that. And bright lights.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, I'm the same nowadays, admittedly. So, what would you say is? I know you've worked on a lot of things, and a lot of things vintage and antique. What's the favorite thing that you've worked on?
I think I would have to say that Bob Evans guitar I was telling you
Yeah.
about with his daughter, because just the story, and when they're in town, she still stops in just to say
Yeah.
hi, and it was
great.
just such a cool story, and sort of tracking down the family.
Mm-hmm.
And the guitar is now owned by someone else not in the family, and they were all trying to buy it from him. But he had gotten it from his grandfather as well, so there was a lot of people who had different sentimental attachments to
Attachments,
this
yeah.
one instrument.
Yeah. Wow.
And so that's one of my favorite stories. And that old fiddle, and there's a couple from Red Oak that they've had musicians in their family for years as well. Used to play on the radio in Shenandoah, so they have a bunch of old instruments. Same sort of thing. Lots of stories. Anything with a story is my
Yeah.
favorite one.
Right,
kind of,
right. I agree. There's when you understand that because music is so emotive, and then your emotions. If you're going to play music, you got to wear your emotions on your sleeve.
right.
And when something like that happens, and that connection is so raw and so real,
Yeah.
because you're just primed for it all the time
Yeah.
when you're a musician. So
And you know, one of my other favorite things. This happened last week. A guy that I know brought his I think 15-year-old son in. Who had
okay.
a bass, and he thought that maybe we could make it play a little easier for him. So they came and left it with me, and I did my thing. And when he came back, he picked it up and just played a couple notes, and he beamed, and he said, "Oh my God, it's so easy to play now."
Oh wow.
And that's
Yeah.
another one of my favorite things, when I can help make it easier for someone, especially a young person. They don't have to struggle with their instrument.
Yes. Well, I should bring mine down here to you because I pulled something in one of my fingers and had to lay off of that bass for a long time.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it was electric, right, that you worked on?
yeah,
Electric bass, yeah.
yeah.
Well, we had to end the show right there, but I just wanted to recap and let you know that Breezy Acres is right there on Main Street in Malvern, Iowa. If you have musical instruments, I know we're all very attached to them if we're musicians. We have emotional connection to them. So I just want to reiterate that you can trust Larry Dunn with your instrument, and he treats them with the utmost respect and love. So Larry Dunn at Breezy Acres on Main Street in Malvern, Iowa. Thank you for joining us today for Mills County Roots, and we'll see you next time.